Hello, hello, and welcome to the AEL University League for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. We are in the playoff stage, ready to get into an exciting best of three tonight. I'm very keen to see how the action goes out between our two teams, the University of New South Wales Black versus, or UNSW Raw rather, versus Swinburne Black. Very excited to see how it goes. I'm joined here tonight by Bluepanda. How are you going? How are you feeling?
Good. I mean, understandable upgrade getting in a caster who knows how to say map names properly. Poor Tony, he's been given the boot. So coming into this matchup, UNSW Raw, it's a name that just keeps being said. Unfortunately, here in the lower bracket, this is sort of, do or die. Last chance, no safety net here anymore. You lose, you're on your way home. So hopefully they can keep this run going a little bit further, push on to the deeper stages of the bracket and keep that hope alive.
Yeah, exactly right. We'll see which of these teams will be able to keep the home alive. As you said, lower bracket time, so loser will be out and the winner will be proceeding forward. It's been very interesting to see how these teams have gone. We've seen a previous matchup from them in the group stages when they were both in their Group C matchup with a 2-0 win going the way of the UNSW Raw. But there's still a lot of opportunity coming in here for Swinburne to strike back, to try and, find themselves after, it's been a fair bit of time since that match happened, so surely they've sharpened themselves up and gotten themselves into it. But before we get into that, of course, we've got some lovely, lovely sponsors that we need to thank for putting on tonight's show. So, Bluepanda, if you will.
Of course, look, it would not be the Australian University League without Chatime on board. Great refreshing drinks available for them. A whole new range coming to your local stores as well, so make sure you go check them out. AOC, the monitor sponsor for the competition. Now, I'm just saying this, and this is completely unpaid, unprompted, other than obviously I work for them. But I just upgraded my new PC, got myself a tasty new AOC 165Hz 27-inch gaming monitor, and honestly, this thing is far cleaner than anything else I've used. So make sure if you are in the market for a new monitor, hit them up.
Yeah, absolutely right. Again, make sure to go have a look at AOC. We've also got Indomie as well, who are, of course, the noodle partner for this competition. Indomie, they have been absolutely, helping us out, and they, of course, have some amazing mee goreng noodles. Indomie noodles are made from carefully selected ingredients, the best quality flour, and fresh spices from the natural resources of Indonesia, giving it a unique and delicious taste. As a result of Indomie's success, their range has expanded to 14 different products. You can find all of their stuff in your local supermarkets, and definitely be sure to go check them out. Also, be sure to check out RIG as well, our headset partner. RIG, what it takes to win. We'll be seeing which of these teams have what it takes to win tonight. RIG develop headsets, delivering superior audio for competitive gamers and streamers at all levels. And of course, having that audio quality certainly does help out quite a fair bit, whether you're just playing casually, whether you're casting like us, whether you're doing anything, gaming related. Having a good headset always helps. Join the RIG team and enhance your gaming experience. So yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to those sponsors. That's again Chatime, AOC, Indomie, and RIG for helping make this show possible.
Yeah, look, who wouldn't want superior gaming, audio, and visibility, obviously. Look, I paid for this monitor myself, and I'm not paid by them to promote this purchase, but it is probably the best part of my setup now. It's so great when it comes to gaming. I'm not any better, but I look better when I'm sucking at the game. So it's always a plus. But as a caster, you want superior quality on your broadcast as well. So being able to see the screen, seeing what's going on in game, gives me the best opportunity to cast all down. But here we're waiting on the last couple of players to get in the server. And honestly, I mean, going into the matchup tonight with the maps that we have available to us, Luther, do you reckon things could get a bit spicy?
Things definitely could get a bit spicy here. Almost saw the Ancient pick come out, but unfortunately, not going to be seeing that one. Ancient definitely being quite the interesting matchup that a lot of teams have been on. We've seen it come out as a bit of a wild card, so seeing it floated in the vetoes was quite interesting. But we are going to be seeing instead our first map, obviously being Overpass, with UNSW picking the CT side on that one, so that being Swinburne's pick. Map number 2 being Vertigo, where Swinburne have picked CT side, so that's the UNSW pick, leaving Dust 2 as the remainder, as the decider. And Dust 2, very interesting to see how that will go as well. because of the recent changes with the operation patch. So no longer having T's being able to peek into mid there should be rather interesting to see how it'll shake things up, both, you know, on the T side about how they're going to be trying to get those opening picks, and also seeing how the CTs will play around it. Now they've got a bit more coverage to, you know, go for those lower pushes and, you know, take more map control. Should be rather interesting to see how these teams will have adapted over the last few days with this rather big change.
Yeah, it's always interesting watching that new patch come into play, whether it's Counter-Strike, Rainbow Six, Dota. It always makes for an interesting couple of days where teams rapidly try to adjust before things go live and have to play it on an official. We are just waiting on the answer chat at the moment. There's a few players already, a few players still warming themselves up in the pre-game lobby, but I mean, going overpass first, there's a lot that could happen. I mean, I remember casting one of the earlier matches in the playoff bracket. Overpass, it started well and then sort of went a bit sideways for the CT side. So hopefully, you know, UNSW Raw don't have that issue today. They want to keep that momentum flowing, but I mean, their opponents are no slouches whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely right. Both of these teams definitely have shown up quite a fair bit in terms of how we've seen them go over the last, you know, few weeks, over the last month or so, with the Uni League just unfolding with those group stages and now into the playoffs. Both of these teams, obviously, you know, doing quite well to get themselves into the playoffs bracket at all, and now down to this point here, we've seen also some very interesting stuff from a lot of these players. We've seen players like Forvent, Viridian City, Cirquest, all on a lot of teams towards different ends of different leagues in OC as well. You know, seeing some of them over towards like the, what you'd say around the tier 2 scene, around like Challenger and things like that. So very interesting to see how they go, especially with a league like this where we're seeing more mixed teams and things like that. Should be getting into it rather soon. We have seen the side swap over, but a player has disconnected, so just waiting for that to all get sorted, and I think we should be going live rather shortly.
I get a sneaking suspicion, because I believe you probably don't have chat open, Luther, as the one broadcasting. It tends to be a pretty rough game. So the comment was made in chat.
Ooh, okay.
Sorry, he's doing Trist runs, and I can only imagine with the drop of Diablo 2 Resurrected that is what that is a reference to, Tristram runs. But I mean, that maybe could be me projecting on a game that I love. So maybe just maybe, you know, he's the match is gonna start. I need to go get some loot. Hold on, boys. We'll pause the match. I'll get back in. But no, it looks like we're all ready to go. Just waiting on the R's to come out once again. Viridian City's doing his best disco routine, getting a bit of spin on. That's toxic. 100%.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Unfortunately, can't see the chat, but wish I could, honestly. Always, you know, good banter between some of these players.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Can always be hit or miss. But, either way, we are going to be getting into things now. So, UNSW Raw on the CT side. It's going to be very interesting to see how these teams will go about it. One of the other big changes as well that's come in with that operation patch, the ability to drop nades. I've seen some teams, you know, taking advantage of that already in, well, literally just saw it there, a flashbang getting dropped, so already off to an interesting start. But we'll see if teams try and, you know, make some strats around that, experiment a bit. For now, though, we're just seeing a very heavy B hold over by UNSW Raw. Swinburne Black, on the other hand, starting to make their way up through a long, just clearing out the bathrooms, looking to just check anything around. They might have a bit of a surprise coming up from behind as Viridian maybe makes his approach up through Con.
Yeah, Cole was definitely passed over there to Raw. As you see the rotate back up, Gibbs at the moment looking to cover that push from mid, and Forvent as well with the dualies, finds one before he goes down to Solar. The cover is good so far out of Swinburne as they push onto the A site and will be able to get the plant secured. Down to the 3 versus 4. Unis Raw have a bit of a retake situation on their hands. This could get rough, especially given these power positions Swinburne currently hold.
Viridian going to be able to find one, but Solar will trade back. 3-on-2 as Swinburne just holding in this post plant. And Auto Director just holding on Cirquest for some reason on my screen. There we go. Viridian will just tap the bomb. We'll also try and tap 2 Penny here. Actually manages to land that shot onto Dexy. Gets the second as well. Oh my god. Absolutely insane stuff, but no time. Just barely they manage to keep him off it. But still, what an absolutely monstrous performance there in that retake. Way to send a message.
And we just took to the admins. I want to take that MVP off Solar. The guy just got a 4-piece with the CZ and still couldn't win the round. Oh. Jeepers, Viridian setting the bar high in round 1.
Yeah, one way to do it. He's going to be buying up the MP9 in this round, so looking to try and do a bit more. Have that extra kill reward, so he's going to be going for a bit more of an upgraded gun compared to his teammates Deagles. Quick exec out from Swinburne as they just run up through Monster. Gibbs to find 2 with the Deagle, though, does drop the bomb. Will not be able to continue holding on. Forvint, however, able to do a bit more damage as Viridian comes swinging. WF will hold it out in the end. As UNSW retake the site before the bomb even goes down.
We'd like to welcome old Viridian City to the 600 Club right now. I mean, that round was a slaughter. It started off with a horrendous team flash from Dexy, and then it just spiraled out of control. I mean, that was a big whiff. Not only did it not clear, it landed in the tunnel at his teammates' feet. And then on the side itself, Gibbs bags 2 with the Deagle, WF, and Viridian as well hold down the rest of them. Swinburne, I mean, I don't know if shoot yourself in the foot is the appropriate term, but it comes about as close as you'd want it to.
Yeah, not wrong in the slightest. Just the pure, the firepower coming out there from that force by absolutely paying out dividends for UNSW Raw. Just the way they were able to instantly call that, really having that communication to rotate in rather quickly. And yeah, stopping that bomb plan as well, definitely denying some money to Swinburne as they also go down, lose all those guns that they had just been able to get their hands on. We are just seeing another quick tech pause come out as a player from Swinburne has obviously disconnected. Hopefully shouldn't be too much longer before we get back into the action. I'm sure Viridian in particular is very keen to get back into some action. 2 rounds in, 6-0. Absolutely insane performance thus far. What's his ADR at? 244. Still early days, of course, but we continue to see some strong performances from him and from the other UNSW players. Could be some very impressive stuff that we're about to see.
Looking to kick things off again soon. Just waiting on the last confirmations that we are good to go. But I mean, a full investment of Mac 10s in round 2. Swinburne just get absolutely monstered. And off the back of it, we do see a couple of rifles coming out for Raw, who should be able to hold on just a little bit longer. And obviously, that Deagle did receive a bit of love from the Nerf bat in the most recent patch. Nothing, I mean, to count it out of contention, but a little less viable than it once was.
Also the M4A1S buff, which will be interesting to see if any players on the Raw side or Swinburne, when we see that second half, have made the swap over. Have been seeing a bit more of it lately since the operation dropped. CircleEst going to be going for some of that early CT aggression. Pull down the bomb, spot it. Viridian wanting to take his MP9 into con, but does not land the critical spray transfer. Gibbs looking to do what Viridian couldn't, though, by finding those 2 kills. Manages to get the 3rd as well and transfer. Absolutely clean stuff as Gibbs pulls out the 4K.
I mean, and then immediately off the back, Viridian whiffs the spray under 2 and immediately buys up the big green gun itself into round 4. This is, I mean, round 1 was a very dominant round from Swinburne. Round 2, UNSW Raw bit back. Round 3, they just swept Swinburne aside. Now in round 4, they're looking towards the end of the map already.
Yeah, exactly right. They're looking to just try and build up this momentum and run away with it. Viridian will be able to get a nice little pick with that AWP as well. Solar just trying to peek up as he uncrouches, but will get shut down rather promptly by Viridian, who is just going to back off with his teammate CircleEst, getting ready to throw a flash over, I think over towards B for a quick peek.
No real presence here. In fact, you look at the CT line, very deep towards their half of the map right now. Swinburne, not quite sure what the call is to be made, but you look, they're gearing up for that push towards the B site. WF watching that potential rotate up through tons, but I mean, at the moment, you've got, what, 4 P250s, not a single bit of utility. How do you make the most of this? Honestly, almost seems like an A bum rush would be the play.
If they're able to just, you know, take a gun or 2 would definitely help. Getting that plant, of course, being, you know, the primary objective, but not a very easy one. Made a lot more difficult by that nade. Gibbs just able to get a nice spray down as well. Forvin gets one in the chaos. Keza left last alive with the P250, unable to tap any heads as the Raw. They just work so well off each other there. They get that util so effectively to do pretty well all the damage that's needed, and then they just, you know, by that point they've lined them up and they're just ready to knock them down.
I mean, Swinburne just ate that frag grenade. Yep. My word, that was just huge. And I mean, you look at it at the moment, like, off the back of that, Viridian and Gibbs averaging almost 150 plus damage per round. Gibbs is only 4 short of that mark. But Forvin, 231 utility damage, most of it off that frag grenade just then.
Yeah, unreal stuff. Just so early as well, being able to get everything just so well put together. It's going to take a pretty big effort from Swinburne to be able to strike back, but still, they will certainly try. Dexy going to start with a quick pick. Viridian to go down to Solar as well, as Swinburne are able to get that A presence going. Just taking that bathrooms in short position. That will prompt a 2-man rotate back up towards the site from B, as WF and Gibbs make their way forward. Forvint just holding back still on the barrels. Quick smoke to go forward from WF as he looks to just back away with that MAC-10. Gibbs just holding the backliners now. Swinburne, despite having taken that map control, slowing things down, looking to try and take things a bit easy as they work out what they're going to do next.
Honestly, the biggest question has to be, do they keep that op going to the next? Can UNSW Raw? I mean, almost the best play for the economy at the moment would be forsake A, let them take it for free, send WF to wrap up through bathrooms and recover that AWP if it's at all possible. Because at the moment, one player resisting, it's going to be Gibbs with that M4A for behind Optimus. Spots one, does get the kill onto the first. There's a lot more that he needs to do. The dual swing is going to be very convincing and very clean. Shuts him down. Unfortunately for them, Foreman rotates up through bank before he himself goes down to 2 Penny. Keza just escaping with his life there. That last second Molotov coming in absolutely huge. But no, they're going to force him out of WF with the MAC-10. Finds the kill. 2 Penny now down. But Kez is there to answer back in the post. And Swinburne not letting them get too far ahead just yet.
Absolutely not. But UNSW still having that economy, of course. They very well could just buy up another AWP. And, well, we're going to see exactly that. Viridian getting another chance with the AWP to go for some more damage, go for some more picks. Swinburne losing a few guns, but certainly being able to pull together a pretty decent exec and site take by the end, even if it was a little bit late in terms of the round timer. Certainly UNSW trying to stop that bomb plant, but ultimately getting shut down. Now we're just going to be seeing things a little bit more slowly drawn out as Swinburne take that control over towards Fountain. Lead the player over towards bottom of Con near that ladder, just waiting for any kind of CT aggression to show itself, waiting for UNSW Raw to peek their head out like they so have done in many of these rounds up till now, but nothing to show itself. Kaz, a quick Molotov out, which will actually do a tick of damage to Viridian backing off. But overall, both teams just taking their time, waiting for their opponent to make a move.
Swinburne so far showing an immense amount of patience throughout this matchup, despite losing a couple of rounds, a flurry of rounds early on. Viridian back with that AWP in hand. Honestly, this playstyle for Swinburne could be its undoing if they're not careful, especially pushing into someone like Viridian, who has hit a couple of very decent shots with that AWP. Funneling through those choke points, through mid, through long, will just allow him such a big advantage. They're going to have to be crisp with those headshots with the AKs, especially with someone like Sir waiting. Dexy just bites off again, more than he can handle. And that's one of those key guns out of hand now for Swinburne.
20 seconds left. Kaza will be able to get a pick on the site. Forvin charges forward over towards Optimus and will be able to get 1-2. He's shut down. Cirquest still on the backlines though. Find one more. And as the swings come forward from UNSW, they're able to completely deny that plant with no time. Pretty well left for Swinburne. They're forced to just rush out. And they're not going to be able to work too well together when they're on the clock like that. Number 4 going the way of UNSW, and once again, we're seeing Swinburne Black down to pistols. We see mostly Glocks rather, but a Deagle and a Tech 9 to be held in those upgraded guns, as we're just seeing a quick Fountain Rush.
Molly there is going to be a little bit of chip damage, but once again, the second Viridian, no chance, get that. Looking for even more damage towards Party, so Quest finds one of the Quezza, but he goes down immediately to the Glock of Solo. But this is the second time we have seen a round play out with no recovery of the AWP by either side.
Yeah, no recovery of that AWP so far. Viridian still looking to maybe try and re-challenge here, or just try to upgrade his gun, throwing that deep smoke to be able to get that AK and just back off. Just over a minute left as Swinburne to make their way towards one of these sites. Have to try and just clear something out. They're able to get that extra reward for planting the bomb. Certainly could help a fair bit, but they're also just looking to get some guns. They're going to try and take them here. Be able to pick up a few as Viridian does go down. The Gibbs on the other side of this door will be able to line up the spray on both of these players as they peek out. UNSW Raw able to find number 5 in the process, shutting down Swinburne in an effective anti-eco round.
Gibbs is putting in the hard yards right now. 12-1-3, sporting a 4.0 KD going into the 8th. Has been able to lock things up. Viridian is on his 3rd AWP this map alone.
That's nuts. It's the amount of money that has had to be just dumped into that. Unreal stuff, really.
No armor with it though, so risky.
Yeah, a little bit, but he certainly showed himself to be quite the effective AWPer when he wants to be. So definitely see some impact coming of this. Swinburne just making their way for the most part over towards B. They've certainly shown their presence a lot, and that has left a bit of a rotate. This boost might be able to find something though, but they certainly do hear the jumping around. Gibbs throwing a quick HE in, hoping to find some damage, but does not seem to land any at this point. We are going to see the counter boost though. WF sharp on the shot. We'll go for some more through the cardboard cutout. We'll be able to tag Keza down to 14 HP. Not land that last shot needed to take him out of it. Orvin does go for the dry swing on Monster. Manages to just get away with it too. 1 HP, but he's able to find the pick at the very least. And Swinburne will just try and back off.
Forced away to try and contest A for now. A little pot flash out there from Penny. Bouncing it off the bathroom wall. Not something I thought I'd ever say in my casting career. Regardless of the title, but now Hippie Man has that smoke line up. Throws another flash just for a bit of coverage. They can look to execute onto the site right now, but WF, great position up towards the bin. They've got 3 bodies there, and Sir Quest is going to reduce the numbers. He goes down himself to Kez Zake, but WF on the quick push has found coverage, and so does Viridian. I don't know, the guy gets spoon-fed, easy kills with your can't hit it, and then lines up the nuttiest shots to make them.
Yeah, it's absolutely been quite the display thus far. Quite the display overall from UNSW Raw, who have been, finding these last 3 rounds in a row, only interrupted by 1 round win from Swinburne Black, who haven't been able to really find their footing so steadily thus far. We'll be back on these pistols, of course, all upgraded ones, but, well, Cirquest with the flash from Viridian will be able to find 2 and the bomb as well, which definitely limits the chances of the Swinburne Black side to do anything too effective here. Quick Molotov from Viridian to the top of Con, expecting a push to come out from that side, but nothing to be there at least now. Remaining Swinburne players just still playing back, but all scattered, no one together to trade off each other, at least for the meantime. Viridian going for the aggressive peek to the top of Con and will land the timing absolutely flawlessly.
No chance he pulls off another insane shot like that. Just, slow peek in the corner. Down
Makes it look so easy.
I don't know. And then he gets the easy lineups and he just gets absolutely beamed by an AK. 47 seconds remaining. They're going to smoke off the main avenue from down below it. Surprisingly, neither of the T's that we have remaining in this round are looking to force the tag. Keza just dancing around, moments away from death, as they are going to be found by multiple members here. You look at that Dex, look at it coming from below. Viridian nails that one as well. This guy is an enigma.
Yeah, absolutely right. Viridian has really shown himself to be quite a strong player, just overall, not even just in this series, but as of late. You know, I've been seeing him in a few different matches, and just every time he manages to show up and pull off some quite impressive stuff. So, very keen, as always, to see what he has on offer. And, well, this match, obviously no exception. Just seems to be time and time again, it just pulling off so many things. But Swinburne, there's still plenty of opportunities to try and strike back here. 5-round score deficit, not exactly an insurmountable one, but UNSW looking to extend it. Cirquest trying his best to contribute with an opening pick.
I'm beginning to develop a bit of a theory here. Someone is being called for dinner on the side of UNSW Swinburne, UNSW Raw. Mum says you need to come eat your chicken nuggets. They're looking to close the match out as quickly as possible. And a 7-2 lead at the moment, and repeatedly being able to break the economy of Swinburne is doing a great amount of work at making that happen.
Certainly right, doing a great amount of work indeed. Swinburne, after losing that player in Cool Hippie Man, and Solar being tagged down to 4 HP, need to find themselves a way to regroup, and they're going to be just trying to make a bit of a mid-round call, just play for picks, you know, slow things back down. They were initially going for a fair bit of B aggression, but now kind of just lingering around that side of the map, looking for something to show its way forward, just baiting shots out. But the time is going to be against them. 34 seconds left, so they certainly have to try and do something. They're grouping up, getting ready to go out. Flashes to go forward, going to blind these players. WF Gibbs able to find kills each. I don't think one to be found by Swinburne. Now 2 Penny all by himself, but not able to pull off the close range AWP shots. Instead, UNSW just holding quite a flawless sight defense. Absolutely stellar stuff, and Swinburne, they're absolutely going to need to try and find something back. We are going to see a quick pause coming forward. Unsure if that's technical or tactical, however.
It looks like, yeah, it's come in the way of UNSW Raw. It's not every day that you see a Counter-Strike match go deeper and one's kill-death differential increases. I mean, Gibbs at the moment, he's sporting a 5.0 KD.
Yep.
And
nuts.
Even in those situations where it looks like he is dead to rights, he still pulls 2-3 frags out of the bag. The guy is just absolutely doing work right now. And Swinburne, they just don't seem to have an answer for it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it just seems like a lot of what we're seeing is just raw firepower coming out the way of UNSW Raw. And it's not entirely surprising, if I have to be honest. I mean, other than the fact, it's just because the players that we're seeing, you know, in those names that keep coming up, like Viridian, Forvin, Cirquest, all playing in some of those, you know, those higher tier teams in OC, where outside of, you know, playing in university leagues and outside of playing in the amateur leagues, you know, they're really getting in quite valuable experience and really building themselves quite mechanically grinding this game. It very much so is showing how much that is paying off when now you come into a league like AEL with mostly mixed teams, and you just see these kind of performances coming out.
I have to say, though, it's not a solo effort by any means by either Gibbs or Viridian. Cirquest currently, with 9 enemies flashed so far in this matchup, is doing a lot of the setup. With teammates, and unfortunately this time around he's been found. 2 Penny. The answer back for Viridian with that big green gun again. Clicking heads. Taken in. Solar. Nice. As Forvin falls, luckily Gibbs there providing support for his big scoped friend. And unfortunately for Swinburne, they find themselves again in a deficit.
Yeah, 2-on-3 now, man advantage, very much lying in the way of UNSW. Viridian trying to pull out the fake flash, try and build the new meta. WF to hit a quick leg shot there, but on the already tagged Dexy. And now Cool Hippie Man left in the 1v3, 42 seconds to try and do something. Only a smoke as far as util goes. Has to try and isolate these 1v1s if he's going to pull anything from it. No economy left on his team, but one AK might not help, particularly when you're down this many rounds. So he's going to try and go for it, but Gibbs just playing up so aggressively, not holding back whatsoever, will go for that swing and take it. 17-3, and we're only now just starting to see round number 12 in the next one.
I mean, Far out. Gibbs goes around the world with that frag. Literally just starts at the thigh, wraps around the head, and then back up to the forehead. But a 9-2 lead is nothing to sneeze at here on Overpass. They've still got the 2 orcs in play, and the best that they can really manage on the side of Swinburne is that scout. The 2 Deagles, the 2 Tech 9s, a couple of flashes along the way, but Gibbs does not care. He does not give it down. 18 and 3, 19 and 3. Looking for his 20th if he can find it. Kez are tagged. They're going to swing him aggressively. And Gibbs goes down. That KD being ruined again, just a little bit further. But look at the damage he's done. WO! The collat to close it out. UNS Raw are storming through this matchup.
Oh my god. What a shot in the end. It really just sums it up, honestly, how rough this is looking. Just everything coming up there, taking 3 players to take down Gibbs there. Herculean effort required to take down this absolute beast. In the end, Swinburne unable to get that round to work, but at the very least, they have guns again, so they certainly can try to get themselves up on a bye round. If they're able to get a little bit of momentum going here, maybe pick up a few... Okay, so let's just casually do that. And get a second. You know, I was saying it would be really, you know, maybe something if Swinburne were able to take a 10-5 half or, you know, an 11-4. Maybe they'd be able to build up something with a CT pistol. But UNSW just shutting them down so early in this round and nothing they can do about Viridian playing up so close with that AWP as well. Unreal.
Well, it's just round after round, and yeah, look, it is exactly, it's getting to that point where it's no longer surprising that this is happening, and it's Swinburne. It doesn't even feel like they're loaded into the and not to discredit them, they have made it this far in the competition, but UNSW Raw are in control, in the driver's seat, hurtling down the motorway. And all Swinburne can do is look up from the back seat and wonder what's going on.
Exactly. It's just how it has been, really. Because UNSW Raw not even really doing anything too much, you know, in terms of strategy-wise or anything like that. They're just showing themselves, you know, with their raw mechanics, with, you know, just winning aim duels by forcibly taking aim duels in the first place and being able to completely overwhelm Swinburne whenever they're trying to set anything up or trying to get anything out. We're going to be seeing the double tactical in a row from Swinburne, needing a full minute to reset here. That is a tactical timeout being called in game, so absolutely not another player issue. So, I mean, I can't really blame them here. There is a lot that you need to try and talk over here. You know, how do you fight this? How do you try and take on UNSW when every single round you just continually are going up against this pure aggression, this pure force that you can't really counter too well? And Swinburne, it seems like they're going to be just going for the force in this one to try and get it to happen. Some of the players saving a little bit of money. A whole lot of util all around at the very least, as we might be just trying to see another exec being set up here.
Well, at the moment, if they do pull this one out of the bag, Swinburne probably should go buy a lottery ticket, because just tossing utility over. I think Kez has got the job of enabling the execute. First shot does miss, but Gibbs doesn't miss on his attempt. 50 man pushes on for WF, and Gibbs finally goes down to the combo. Dexy and Keza, but Meridian, what are you doing behind them? He's in monster.
Oh no!
2-3. It's all but over here. There's almost no coming back from that. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fair call to make.
They just know.
That's just BM at this point. Oh my god. Wow. Well, look, I appreciate what Swinburne tried there. That was actually quite an interesting strat. I mean, like I said at the start, you know, teams trying to just play around this whole idea of the new grenade dropping thing being a new addition to the game that hasn't been seen before. We did see them do that. They dropped, they dropped all those flashes, just aiming to have one player lobbing flash after flash over. And for a second, it did work out. They were able to find those opening picks, and they were able to gain side control more than we've seen as of yet. But UNSW just so quick on that retake, were able to just shut it down so quickly. And they're shutting things down again in this round. Already finding 2 openers as Swinburne haven't even had the chance to set up.
Oh, Viridian. Playing dangerous game into the smoke there in mid. Just misses the flick 1 millimeters. Gibbs? He's not going to miss. He doesn't miss. It's just impossible. The thought of him missing is blasphemy at this stage. Viridian pulls out the pocket or takes down 2 Penny as well. And that is bomb control just outside of bathrooms. And the rest of the UNSW crew are going to get a bit aggressive here as Dexy just honestly cowering in a corner, as he should be, given the way that UNSW Raw are taking this map to them. The best situation? I honestly could not say what. Yeah, look, they know exactly what's going on. They're just burning utility left, right, and center, and it's going to be a loop around along. Dexy, he's spotted, he's found the 360, but it's not good enough. And a 13-2 in favor of the CT side.
You know, I just saw a message in the Twitch chat that got deleted, putting in harsher terms of how we're very much talking up UNSW. And I don't disagree with you, but look at the scoreline. Like, I really do want to say, like, that, yeah, I really want to see some stuff from Swinburne. I'd love to see a huge comeback, but I mean, so far, UNSW of every twist and turn have just been able to completely overwhelm them other than those 2 rounds. It's been absolutely insane, a monstrous performance to come out from UNSW thus far. They're looking to try and continue it as well, taking very aggressive fights here. Forvin by himself, just absolutely trying to mow down Dexy, will with some of these shots. However, Keza having to defend as the B push comes out. Overall, Viridian able to get himself a 2K and get that bomb down.
Yeah, and it looks like the trade is going to continue here. Cool Hippie Man can find 1, but that is it. Just a consolation for himself, as the remainder of the team had already dropped at that stage. You know, I get those comments too. I've seen it in Rainbow Six broadcasts, and well, it's a pretty simple thing. The alternative is us just trashing on Swinburne, which we don't want to do. UNSW Raw are very much in control. They're playing this game phenomenally. And Forvin, he's taking the EU strat. It's crab walking dually style.
You can just tell that they're just having fun with this. And, you know, they're just having a good time. That was interesting with the smoke there. That should have extinguished. Yeah. Counter-strike for you. OUF able to find an opener. Gibbs as well to follow up. Keza, at the very least, does take out Viridian. And maybe might be able to find the bomb, actually. It's been dropped behind. Gibbs might just beat him to it, though. But Keza might hear these footsteps here. Does certainly catch Gibbs off guard, but unfortunately unable to land the spray down.
I don't even think I don't think you can catch Gibbs off guard at this stage. And, the swing is going to be good. And no! Nice to the back forward with the flying forearm. A karambit at the end of it. And yeah, these boys are definitely enjoying themselves right now.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt, they're having themselves a fun time here. Swinburne, though, you know, they've still got another map to try, at the very least, to try and bring things back around, all things considered. It's a best of 3 after all, so not going to be the end of the story at the end of this map. We'll be very interested to see how things come back around. Love to see Swinburne are able to get themselves back on the board a bit, but UNSW Raw absolutely tearing things up in this first map. No doubt about that. Swinburne now having to just hold on, have to make some gargantuan effort right here, right now, if they want to keep Overpass going. But losing 2 players early, not a great way to start out. Cool Hippie Man to fall as well. Leaving 2 players on the retake. 2 Penny, at the very least, able to get 1 back in to make it a 2-on-3 bomb. Still yet to go down.
There is not an overwhelming amount of confidence available. Dexy finds 1, but there's still an auto sniper in the hands of Forvin. And Sirquest does have that Galil, which, I mean, the opportunity to trade it out for you, Forvin. Goodbye, 2 Penny. 1 to go. It's hunting time up in heaven. Dexy, though, with a 7 health and a dream. Now with an AK instead. Can't find Sirquest, unfortunately. And the map will result a 16-2 victory for Raw to put them up 1-0 in this series. Swinburne now find themselves in a position one map away from bowing out of the tournament.
I mean, just look at that line of round wins there. Absolutely unreal stuff. Swinburne, as you said, one map away from elimination. UNSW Raw looking to try and make their way through as quickly as possible. But map number 2, it's going to be very interesting to see. Swinburne did pick the first map though, so having to now play again on their opponent's map pick, especially with that precedent, it is going to be difficult, but certainly not impossible. I'm very keen to see if Swinburne are able to pull things together in the break, you know. Take 5, talk things out, see what they're able to do. But should be very interesting to see how that will go, Panda. I'm very keen, very excited. But we are going to cut to a very quick break while we get ready to go into it. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back once again to the AEL University League for Counter-Strike Global Offensive in the playoffs stage. Of course, we've just seen our first map of UNSW versus the UNSW Raw versus Swinburne Black in this lower bracket. Loser of this match will be eliminated from the playoffs. Winner will go on to verse AOE Black, who have just beaten Team Unimelb 2-1 in their round off stream. Of course, once again, I am Twosbees. I'm joined by Bluepanda. How did you find that last map, man?
Almost sensating his chat right now. Forbid is asking why he doesn't get free Indomie for that match. And BK has given him a pretty solid response. He said, if you want Indomie, you can go to the supermarket and buy some yourself, just like you can at home. So, I mean, it's great to see that everyone here is on an even playing field. Players, fans, casters alike. If you want it, go buy it.
Yeah, everyone can get yourself some Indomie noodles or some bubble tea from Chatime, or, you know, some AOC monitors or some rig headsets.
Just saying, my AOC monitor made that map look so good. Like, so good.
Oh, man. I need to start looking into some new monitors as well. Need to get an upgrade like that. Definitely going to be having a look at the AOC range. Absolutely right. But we're going to be getting into this second map very shortly. We are just seeing a players in the warm-up. As
Sorry, they're calling each other out in chat. Forvin just dropping Meridian under the bus, saying that he lost 200 ELO today.
I mean, to be fair, if you've lost that much ELO, I can kind of understand why you'd be going into a match like this with a mission to just try and get it over and done with. Swinburne, though, now having the opportunity to try and strike back on Vertigo. It will be UNSW's map pick, so it does make it a little bit more difficult playing on your opponent's field, but certainly the opportunity is there. We will just see the kills typed in console for the knife round, as it has been decided in the veto. But I'm very interested to see how this one will go. If Swinburne can bring it back around, if we can see them get back into a stronger form. Only time will tell, but I'm very keen to see how this matchup will go either way.
Well, I mean, last time I cast Vertigo, it was again a pretty one-sided affair for the first half, and then after a brief comeback, it was shut down. Unfortunately, but that is just the way it goes some days. At the moment, R's coming through, as it looks like Swinburne will be starting things off on the CT side, which, I mean, on a map like Vertigo, could potentially give them some room to breathe and maybe push on for that third decider map.
Very well, could be interesting. I'd love to see it, the third decider personally, because third map would be Dust 2, which of course has just seen the big changes to mid. That covering now no longer allowing T's to peek down to the mid double doors like we've been seeing for many, many years. Back to the kind of 1.6 era looking Dust 2 in that regard. And yeah, it's been a great change, I reckon. You don't have to throw a smoke as a CT to cover the cross. You don't have to, you know, fight there if you're going to try and push in. But of course, getting ahead of myself, before we get to that point, Swinburne have to take us there. Vertigo, and straight off the bat, we're going to be seeing UNSW just throwing a quick smoke and a flash over in Viridian towards that mid position. Flash over on B as he looks to make his way up. His team now pushing up over on A. Will get struck down by Dexy, but the aggression is going through rather quickly.
Just again, kicking things off for his team. The flash that may not have been. Oh, Kenza, no chance. One lines up the second. He can't do it. He whiffs in a big way. Gibbs gets the kill back before going down to 2 Pity. Keza with the biggest power position playing the waiting game. Solar cleans up Sir. Forvit with the dualies once again in the post plant. No kit. So Forvit can do a good job of delaying. He's going to hold down for another. Solar falls. 2 Petty is just wondering what the hell is going on.
The dualies, very interesting weapon to do it, especially in the 1v2. But Forvin just playing with the time here, knowing that, you know, the footsteps would get him off it, and it has. He's just been playing the mind games with his opponent. Unreal.
And he just goes and eats it. The man is a cerebral assassin.
Absolutely right in that. UNSW Raw pulling out that first pistol round to kick off their T side. And off the back of that, Forvin just going to be holding on to his dualies. His teammates buying up some Mac-10s, some Galils, plenty of util all round to go forward, as they're looking to just straight up rush it over towards B. One player on A, however, in Viridian, just making his way up that ramp as quickly as possible. Teammates actually just holding over towards mid. Will Hippie Man able to find a quick opener?
Keza is just a sneak thief in the night. Unfortunately for him, WF has now bagged his third in the round. Still has the long rifle of the Galil. There is a second one that Viridian can pick up, but I don't think Viridian cares much for that. He's got his Mac-10. They can look to rotate through to A, and it is a very split defense right now. No, it's a fake, a smoke fake over towards A. And Solar, the remaining CT on this B bomb site, is going to be very overwhelmed. Is WF given a fourth? They surely will. Actually, no. There's no way they don't get the plant down, and unless someone does something dumb. But a team like UNSW Raw, they're not going to get caught out like that. The question has to be, do we see WF fed the full ace right now? Viridian down the bottom of the B stairs. At the moment, WF could. Can he bag it? No! Oh, my lord, he almost missed out there. Spray's good! And it's the full 5-man ace for WF here in round 2.
Opening up with quite the sharp stuff Absolutely love to see it, of course, if you're going for the UNSW side. Of course, if that's the case, you've absolutely loved everything you've seen thus far in this series. No doubt about that. Swinburne back down to pistol. They're hoping to try and just do something aggressive. If possible, sending some players over towards A, where they're looking to just try and take a bit of map control there. Two players also playing very up aggressive towards the B stairs. Cirquest just opening up the bathroom doors. Just, considering.
I think he may have thought he'd lost some util in there, because he was just looking around at the ground, looked back, and then there was a smoke grenade against the skip bin.
He's accidentally flushed it.
Well, I would look. With the way that they're going, I wouldn't be surprised if they flushed a bit of utility.
Gibbs certainly going to be flushing out 2Penny there, as Cirquest does the very same to Solar, clearing out these corners. Now making a viable B pathway open up. All on Dexy there to hold, but he's unable to. Keza last alive, but will be taken out as Viridian does peek his way up, continuing to lurk over towards A round after round, and paying off with a pick there to close things out. 3-0 as UNSW do take that advantage early, but Swinburne able to get themselves into, I think, their first full buy round, at least with the rifles. Seeing a mix of the A1S and the A4, some players trying out the new changes. Keza with the AWP looking to try to find a pick here, and he's able to get it.
Viridian falls. I mean, last round they lost a collective 19 health for UNSW. Well, this time they've already lost a player very early on. This one should be huge with W punting on through. He doesn't care. He's being sprayed out. Just resets, gets the kill back on the person with the audacity to try and shoot him. 2Penny through the smoke. We'll finish him off the second time around. WF lucky the first, not on the second. Plant is good. Cirquest as well. Going to be tagged up in the ensuing chaos, and the spray grenade could dissuade them a little bit from pushing on in.
A lot of damage being done through the smoke by 2Penny, but still a lot more needs to be found. And Gibbs looking to try and deny it, finds 2, but will go down. Solar finding 1, now leaving it 1-on-1 for Vin, finding the kill. Keza just holding both sides. That swap does spawn the edge of Vin's body there, but unable to find him in the smoke. That bomb ticking away. Keza able to hit the no-scope as he jumps out of it, but not realizing that he had the kit to go for it, perhaps. I think he might have just had it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he just thought that he didn't have it.
I think just Forvin again playing the mind games. Yep. I don't think there was any situation where Keza felt comfortable enough to go for it, and if he had, chances are he would have psyched himself out and missed out on the opportunity. But UNSW Raw, I mean, this is not your tier 1 Counter-Strike competition. These guys are obviously having a bit of fun with it at the moment. You can see just in the way that they're approaching these rounds, but when you're having the success, oh my lord, Viridian again with another massive headshot at 2Penny. It is a very broken round at a Swinburne, but that doesn't help at all.
Yeah, certainly does not. Still, they've got a player over towards B in Dexy, but unable to survive for too long and just holding back with the scout. And we'll go down to WF as that bomb also goes down. Gibbs just watching that peak, and with the angle there, we'll be able to find that one onto Solar. Viridian able to also get that kill on Keza, just pushing up over towards A, looking to find any of these CTs if possible. Cool Hippie Man left, just trying to save his armor and his deagle if he can. Hoping maybe if something does come his way, he's able to pick an AK off one of these players, get something for his effort, but unfortunately, nothing quite going to push up that far, so we'll just have to hold on to what he's got. But at the very least, Swinburne Black do escape with a player alive in that round. I speak too soon. I speak too quickly. He went for the peak and he's shut out of it, so never mind all that. UNSW Raw will be able to take their number 5, being in a row, of course. Swinburne Black will be able to get the rebuy up, though, with these rifles.
Yeah, look, it's not too petty. I think Swinburne might be a little bit tilted, and I think you could understand as to why they would be in that situation right now. They're down 5-0 in the first 5 rounds of this map, and look at UNSW Raw. They are toying with their prey right now. That volley might slow things down a little bit. The spray through the ensuing flames will do some decent damage. Keza holding down mid. but a frag grenade from Forvin allows the entry into the site, followed up with a quick headshot. And UNSW Raw having a huge amount of success on, well, just Vertigo in general.
Yeah, having quite a fair bit of success indeed. Swinburne, still 3 players alive though, and they do have an idea of where some of their opponents are. Cool Hippie Man spraying through the smoke to try and find Gibbs, who is spraying through. Solar able to find one on the other side as Forvin peeks out. Playing a little bit too aggressively, a bit too close to the flames perhaps. Has been singed a bit. Gibbs, though certainly not one to back away from trouble, is able to find 2 kills there and pushing up rather aggressively. Now all on Keza. Manages to find the first, manages to find the second. Turns around, but is unable to land the transfer onto the third. Nice effort coming out. Take some guns away from UNSW Raw, but they've certainly got the money to rebuy them.
Well, Gibbs, he's looking to stack up that KD once again, although this is the worst KD that he's had in this matchup so far. I think he was averaging between 3 and 5 through the entirety of Overpass. At the moment, UNSW, they're on a bit of a tear. Haven't dropped the round in a wee while. Gibbs finds himself Kez before going down. Solar and 2 Penny both fall Forvin. Aggressive with that mouse one. Cool Hippie Man left alone in a 1v4 situation. Could do some damage to Burrito and Forvin. Taking a gun out of hand could be big, but a frag grenade. And a stun to enable that cross towards the top of mid. And yeah, Forvin, he's not having absolutely none of it. Quick headshot. Round is over. 7-0 to UNSW.
Good amount of util there as well. Almost got taken out by that first HE. Second, not quite landing as Hippie Man was able to adjust his position, but still quite a lot there coming out. Again, just seems so difficult here. It's such a rough situation for Swinburne. Absolutely have been quite a valiant team and have shown themselves to be incredibly strong throughout this Uni League, but in this matchup here, UNSW really just getting all the control, really just being the driving factor as far as things are concerned. Now looking to drive their way up towards that A site, but 2 Penny might be able to turn things around with that kill, taking the man advantage, dropping the bomb. WF is able to recover it, but Cool Hippie Man with the swing will be able to find it. Now 4 versus 2. A Swinburne being able to kick things back into gear, very much so with their hold.
Unfortunately, against UNSW Raw, there is no situation where you should cut them out, even in a 2 versus 4. The swag is going to be good. Goodbye, Turquoise. From downtown Forvin, dinked as well, as he does find that kill onto Solar, but with 11 health, he's going to go absolutely huge. And 2 Penny, second time around, he's not going to waste any time and make sure he shuts it down. Gibbs had the opportunity to react. It was one of the slower AWP kills that I've seen in this competition, but Gibbs, a momentary lapse in concentration, loses out.
Yeah, indeed. Swinburne being able to get themselves around at least and hoping to go for a few more. See what exactly they're able to get together. Dexy will go for a quick peek to try and go for some aggression, shake things up, but ultimately takes a fair bit of damage, manages to escape before he falls down. However, Smoke will also block the way forward to that B stairs. Circlice trying to spray through, find something on the other side, but will be unable. Meanwhile, WF over on that ramp position, trying to find whatever he can as he makes his way up. A Cool Hippie Man playing out a position here. Oh, Meridian! Oh my god, the positioning. How did he make his way up?
Genuinely, it was just so casual. I genuinely thought he was one of the Swinburne players and then looked at his name and realized, oh boy, these guys are in trouble. Cool Hippie Man and Keza again in the 2v4. The opposite of what UNSW found themselves in last round. And you got to wonder, what is the game plan? They can save those guns going to the next, but even at this stage, is that going to be enough? They find Viridian, take that AWP out of hand so they can claim that back at the very least. That is massive. No, they're not even going to do that. They're going to rotate all the way back. They're so hesitant. Absolutely sure that there is someone following up the AWP, but it's not the case. They will get an AK though, so not the worst.
I mean, again, you know, just getting in. Again, just trying to get back into those plans.
From the side, like this workplace has not suffered an accident in 2 days. And this, yeah, Circus said not today, buddy.
But yeah, again, in a situation like that where Swinburne, you know, pretty impossible to get back into things as far as a retake is concerned, all things considered. Even if, you know, this wasn't the kind of scoreline, if it was a lot closer, that is just a very difficult retake to make happen in that 2 versus 3, especially when you don't have that util, especially when you don't have those things to go for. Certainly saving when the rest of the team's able to buy the next round being the logical call to make here, because you've got some guns across, which we have seen happen now. Swinburne able to get themselves up with a full buy, even an AWP. Dexy able to get a nice open to make that 2, make that potentially 3, maybe not. WF will be able to trade it out, but still 2 for 1, not a bad special to go for, and extra damage coming in as well. Nice round from Dexy, but still big hold needs to come out. Fortunately, Solar is there to follow up on it, maybe even able to get the second. Spray comes through, and there it is.
Looking like they're almost guaranteed their second round here. Frag grenade deep. Viridian finds 2 Penny just on the edge of that smoke. Is going to fall back. There is a minute to play with, so he could potentially back this one. Unfortunately, with the diffuser down in the middle of the B site, the best he can probably hope for is to frag this one out. But the rotations, he's slowly pushing himself back up B for the moment. Just hoping that he may have baited someone into pushing too far forward. I mean, the angles, I mean, it'll be a close thing, but he might just be able to pick them off one by one.
Maybe. Be quite difficult though, even still, but he's able to find one. Fortunately, Cool Hippie Man has the sightline trained there. Again, a situation like that, all you can do is try and isolate those 1v1s and win all the aim duels. Viridian, certainly not a player to discount there, but Swinburne having that whole site control really just makes things a bit more limited, especially without the util to go for it. And so as a result, we're able to see that round come out. Swinburne definitely is showing a bit more strength here in some of these rounds, certainly making things a fair bit closer. Even the rounds they weren't able to take out, finding quite some nice picks. Like that one there from Dexy, who's been finding so many openers towards the B side.
Yeah, he's really ramped up here in the second half of the series. Viridian pushes through, but there's 2 players now presenting themselves around this A ramp. So luckily, the trade back goes in favour of Swinburne. 2 Penny for now. Just pulls the team back towards things. Unfortunately, Forvent does not care. He's going to keep charging on through and finds the frag there, evening that score, or player count rather. 3-3. Utility. Did Sirquest just toss the bomb down the elevator shaft?
He did, but luckily the map resets it to its last position.
It does,
so.
but
like, that's funny. That's still so funny though. He's just like, yeah, I don't need this. It's fine. Picks it up again though. So we'll make his way back over. Dexy just playing short range with this. I love the confidence he's having at the moment.
I mean, anything is a shotgun if used effectively.
True. Got a good point there. Shotgun with a scope certainly does sound like it could be effective, but Sirquest with an AK also very effective as he's able to clear that corner. Gibbs finding 1, now leaving Solar in the 1 versus 2. We'll be able to spot 1 to make his re-entry. Bomb going down. He knows exactly where that player has to be.
V1, Sirquest, he doesn't care. I mean, you make the joke about a shotgun with a scope, but in Rainbow Six Siege, a famous content creator demanded that one of the most famous slug shotguns in the game got an ACOG sight, and they gave it to it. So it is used like a long-range rifle in a lot of matches.
Fair enough. It'd be very interesting if we saw something like that come in Counter-Strike. What if the Nova had an ACOG on it? Would be...
Oh, I'd 100% back a slug shotgun in Counter-Strike.
Oh, it'd be interesting. Always different ways to shake up the meta. A lot of things have been shaken up in the last patch, of course, and a lot of things being shaken up here as Swinburne try to go for the quick aggression. Will actually end up in a team kill coming out, which is kind of an unfortunate way to go about it. All that and confusion in the smoke leading to that point, and Forvent just gonna knife away at his teammate as they get that bomb down post-round. Take double digits as well. UNSW, Raw, looking to cement their place, if possible, to verse AUE Black. They're very keen to get things moving, to continue on in this playoffs. But Swinburne, still plenty of opportunity if they're able to try and find things back. They have to try and get their way into some of these rounds, though, to make it more likely. It's going to be difficult for them.
Here's that. He's showing his ambition here. We'll see if it works for him. Dexy jumping up, but Okay, it looks like a double up was the play. They get the trade back, but at the cost of Kizza. So that shotgun, not going to work. Cool hippie man. Proves that rifles are the name of the game as he finds a second from that position. Gibbs falls to the AWP 2 penny. And it's all starting to get a bit scary for UNSW. I mean, say scary. It's still 10-2 right now with Forvin on the B site. Unfortunately, the bomb is not on the B side.
Yeah, pretty far from it. Instead, pretty well in the hands of Cool Hippie Man playing very close by. And 2 penny also just watching this angle might make things a bit more difficult for Forvin as he's about to cross it. Having no idea of this, he's got to be very careful to check everything, because if he doesn't, he'll get taken out of this. Actually, the X3 kind of lying to me. He's going to be going around the other way by the looks of it. Decision that might just give him a bit more of an opening, but 30 seconds left. He's got to try and make his move, strike quickly, walking on the site, being very careful of anyone nearby. Certainly the right call. 2 penny peeks out here. He might be able to just find it. Doesn't even need to, as Forvin will cross his sight line, not checking the sandbags. That is going to be that. Swinburne finding round number 3. You know, if they're able to get themselves maybe a 4-11 half or, a 10-5 half there, certainly could see a bit of potential coming if they're able to take the pistol after the halves switch over. UNSW, of course, wanting that not to happen. They're just going to be throwing around some util in spawn and not even really taking this too seriously at this point, honestly.
I mean, when you kill Heapy Man, maybe live it up to his name a little bit with that molly throw there. A couple of little mid-range flashes. WF spots Dexy, who is up elevated on the B bomb site, but unfortunately, despite the advantage that he should have had, the flash is good. And WF bags himself a second on the site. Viridian with the Deagle. Forvin with his AK of his own on the B site, and it's split attention across the board. Solar able to capitalise with no support there. Gibbs as well, just funneling on, feeding them 1 versus 1. And now in a 2v1, Solar, with Viridian as low as he is, finds himself in a very winnable situation.
Yeah, very much so. Gets into a winnable situation here. Solar to try and make this 1v2 happen. He's got a fair bit of util to work with, even a Zeus in his back pocket just in case. Solar just waiting for the push to come out. Bit of info will be given by the bomb plant coming out from Cirquest. He will be able to deny it. Turning around, watching the right corner. We'll be able to find that flick onto Viridian as well. And that's absolutely huge to come from Solar, as he's able to just take it all out.
UNSW deserved to lose that round. Cirquest going for the 360 bomb plant. Jeepers.
Yeah, absolutely not wrong in the slightest. Just trying to screw around, have a bit of fun by the looks of it on the UNSW camp. Ultimately getting punished by Swinburne as they're able to find themselves into a bit of a stronger form at this point, trying to play more organized if possible. Now UNSW looking to kick things up a notch for this last round in half. Viridian able to find that sharp shot onto Dexy to trade his teammate Forvin.
My lord, these matches have just been a wild ride too, Penny. Lovely little shot there onto Gibbs with a FAMAS. Does have Kez in support, who was able to keep that M4 in hand for this round. Didn't have to pick it up as he just looks with distaste at the scout that Dexy had moments earlier. Final round of the half. 2 AKs and a Mac 10 versus an AK and M4 for Marson, one of the MPs. I mean, I'd say this was winnable for Swinburne, but some of these rounds have been winnable and then gone the other way, especially with Viridian and WF with those AKs in hand. It's almost impossible to guess which way this one goes.
Swinburne definitely having the advantage to get their way back into it, though. They've got the util, they've got, a fair bit going for
having a bit of fun.
Yeah, absolutely is. Viridian looking to make his way up, though, and will try to find Keza, but doesn't be able to shut it down. Meanwhile, WF pushing up over towards that A site will actually run out of bullets in his gun. Keza will make his way over as Cool Hippie Man able to find that opener. It is traded by Cirquest. He does fake the bomb plant and will be able to catch 2 penny as he tries to run out. Keza now left himself, but will be able to get it. 10-5 half, not exactly, the best half, of course, but still not a too bad scoreline all round. That is definitely, that is something where you can start bringing things back around as the half switches. If you get that pistol, you know, you get a few rounds there where you've got that economical advantage. All comes down to how Swinburne handle this.
Well, I mean, we are gonna have to see. It's gonna be an interesting one for sure. A lot of stuns. DXC gonna buy himself up another one. Why not? Just money in the bank, floating off to the side. Forvent for one. Cirquest falls with the answer. Deep in the corner. Forvent gonna fall as well. And Swinburne will be able to get the plant down here in the 16th. And a 4 versus 3. The dualies come out, but they're dropped immediately by WF Gibbs. Times in with a headshot of his own. Viridian for 1 and 2. As he watches his teammate Gibbs fall, and they will be able to get the defuse with plenty of time remaining.
Oh, what a beautiful retake from UNSW, just taking those aim duels and just really making it work with a very fast rotate, with the coordination absolutely seemingly there. Swinburne very much needing that pistol, but at least able to get the bomb plant. Will secure themselves the opportunity to go for a full buy in the next round. Now though, just upgraded pistols to try and do some damage, do what they can in this one, hoping for another bomb plant if possible, of course, although none of the players currently holding that bomb just going to be dropped back as Swinburne start to make their way out in a default here. Keza throwing a quick fake flash. Love that that's a thing now. Viridian doing the exact same. Alright, everyone's fake flashing in this round. Viridian chucking the Molotov down as he spots players, just using it to get away. So a little bit of safety. We'll be able to do that and re-aggress from a new angle, finding 2.
100% Viridian's in voice chat every time he goes and does it. Fake flash. Fake flash. Fake flash. His teammates are just sitting there like, shut up, dude. Come on, play the game. Orban's gonna find a head of Solar as they aggress onto him. And finds Cool Hippie Man as well, holding things down over towards the B-bomb site. Guesser. Cheapest. For those of you that aren't aware, Keza was asking if Forvent heard the fake flash, but Forvent not going to fall for it. And Solar has challenged a knife mid. Cirquest hits them with the please remain professional. Cheapers.
Ooh.
BCat's chimed in with one of his own. He's also, you know, he concurs with Cirquest's request.
DXT actually going to take a bit of damage from the lineup there from Viridian, trying to find the AWP wall bang. Does hit his body, not the head though, so will not be a fatal shot, but, well, that one will be onto Solar as he looks to try and get up nice and aggressive, but he's shut down. Viridian again just finding so much damage with the AWP. WF will throw a quick smoke over towards that ramp position as well. Just boosted up on top of it, hoping for something to come out, but for now, it seems Swinburne just mostly taking that mid-presence, where Viridian, again, able to find even more impressive shots.
Just ruthless. Absolutely ruthless, locking it down. As we are hitting past the mid. Okay, speaking of ruthless, Kez is on the job, says, don't you try that with me, son. Takes Forvent clean out. 45 seconds. But again, some prime positions being held here, and a bit of a disjoint coming out of Swinburne Black. 2 of them now pushing up B stairs. Can they get support over from UNSW Raw? 2 around that mid-highway area. Viridian, yeah, the pull-off's going to come. They're just flooding over towards B. And Viridian, quite a dangerous game there, but this is something that UNSW keep doing. Cirquest 1, 2, can't find a third. Viridian dropped through that smoke at WF. He is the smoke. He's hiding in the middle of this site right now, waiting for Gibbs to come and join him. No, the gun! No! WF! Oh, he's going to be absolutely spewing.
Oh, but Keza still will go down nonetheless as Gibbs holds the angle. That's still one way to find it though. Just the edge of the gun barrel sticking out there. Absolutely giving him an opportunity. But unfortunately for Keza, Gibbs will be there for the refrag, there for the trade, having that positional awareness and being able to get back on it. UNSW Raw now holding that 13-5 scoreline, just adding to their advantage here, but Swinburne able to buy up and get themselves full AKs yet again. So it'll be very interesting to see what they're able to do with it.
Images that precede disaster. 100% WSA boys. Watch the ninja. I got this. Just look away, and then there's just a gun barrel sticking out of the smoke. It was just unfortunate. Speaking of unfortunate, Gibbs gets hit with the full force of the flash from Keza. And they will flood over towards A side. One long-range spray. Keza bags himself a double. Cool Hippie Man chimes in. A third on the cards. Two Penny finds a fourth. And all of a sudden, it's a bomb down with plenty of time remaining. And Cool Hippie Man, they claim themselves the fullest round. Not a full health bar between them, but a flawless round nonetheless.
Yeah, that was absolutely very different to what we've seen from Swinburne up till now, to be quite honest. That was much more aggressive play, something far quicker, something that really just changed the pace up, and UNSW Raw obviously not expecting Swinburne to pull something like that out. Off that success, it seems they're going to be doing that again, just running up over towards A if possible. Dexy holding the push behind, will be able to find one, but WF is there to trade and will be able to collect a gun. Solar, 2 Penny entering into the site, will be able to get that bomb down. WF Cirquest left last alive. Maybe to do a bit more damage, at least Cirquest is. They're able to just secure some guns. Definitely will help them in the next one, as UNSW Raw obviously, you know, looking to just try and hammer this one out, get the next 3 rounds for them if possible, but Swinburne starting to make it very difficult with the way they've been going in the last few. Cirquest able to get in with that. Oh my, okay, that almost happened. Cool Hippie Man pulling out the Tech 9 though will deny it from behind, so at least the crossfire is there in the end, but still very nice try from Cirquest.
I mean, in Rambo 6, we call it siege timing. Looks like Counter-Strike has its own variation.
Absolutely.
Swinburne, I mean, the way they hold on, they've got the eco, it's not booming, and, well, Viridian City is going to get knifed in the back by 4 of it, so tension's a little bit higher for UNSW in this match, and Gibbs with the D. Can't find anything for the Cirquest ball. Gibbs does get it in the end of the soul. Somehow that was a headshot, and somehow he escapes with all 100 points of health. WF for 1. But he's straight back to Danny on the side. Gibbs playing dangerous games once again. But, okay, brilliant. Calm down, buddy. 2 Pennies on a bit of a tear. But 2 guns out of hand, not bad at all.
Yeah, not bad indeed. Gibbs is able to retrieve one though. Pulls away an AK to run things back. Meanwhile, Swinburne able to get themselves up on towards that B site. They're also able to take away 2 AWPs. Don't know if they're going to stick with the double AWP per se, but at the very least, they're able to deny the save of one from UNSW Raw. Dexy able to close out the round with his AWP as well. As that scoreline deficit definitely starting to shrink a little bit, or at the very least, the same as it was at the half. Now Swinburne finding 3 in a row after UNSW finding their 3 to kick off the start of this half. But Swinburne definitely looking still like they've got a bit of that momentum behind them. They've certainly got the economy as well behind them, holding that AWP and the 4 AKs now going for a very quick A kit. Swing being out from Viridian, but not able to land anything. WF finding 1, but it is very much traded back and forth. And Swinburne take the advantage and are able to get up perhaps on the side. Gibbs trying to do what he can to deny it though.
Feeling a little bit more like that, you know, UNSW Raw, the confidence is getting a bit ahead of them. And I say that Forvent finds a perfect kill on Keza, and that is bomb control right now. But the last few rounds definitely has felt like the case. Dexy rotates back with that Tech 9. Again, which brings it to a position where it is entirely doable. But no, Tech 9 versus the M4A4. And in fact, Gibbs is going, well, it looked like he was almost going the same route, but no, he's heading up towards Con. And the scaffolding spots it, and I don't know whether it would have been a different result with the AWP in hand, but UNSW now 2 rounds away from closing it out, and they, again, the ones to call the attack at this stage in the map. Very
well could have been a different result if we'd seen Dexy back away with that bomb. He had the minute left, certainly could have run back towards B, or even just walked back, but maybe just expecting that the rotate had already come out or something like that, trying to play time. Not exactly sure what he was thinking with that attempt, but still a lot of damage being done by Swinburne. UNSW Raw now making things look scary. 14 rounds, only needing 2 more to take the series. And they're certainly looking to try and get it done as quickly as possible, especially Viridian. Pushed up so close.
A gun barrel and an ankle. The undoing of two players now. And this matchup here on Vertigo. Two quick frags from the side of Swinburne, giving them that advantage. But despite a victory, the economy is looking pretty bleak right now. Norwood has one of the main rifles. The WF and SirQuest reduced capacity here and trying to detain another round if possible, but Forvent with that AK could shut down this push. If he spots the player, spots the head. Again, a situation, UNSW Raw might just be able to do this.
Might just be able to quick smoke over from WF, but unaware that it is instead coming out over towards that B site where they are able to clear things out. SirQuest, Forvin do go down. They do take one as they do so, but WF now reapproaching is spotted. Tagged down, all the way down to 0 HP. And Swinburne are able to get into that, secure the site, get that plant down, hold the post plant nice and neatly there. Swinburne certainly kicking things into gear with their T side here. Very much kind of realizing this is absolutely do or die right now, these next rounds. They want to just continue this streak, continue this momentum, and UNSW Raw, they don't have any weaponry left to stop it.
Another con push secures the death of WF. It's pistols all around. They do get one. Gibbs has been incredibly clean when it comes to those headshots. Viridian solar. So again, another situation. A pistol buy that has done some decent damage to the economy. P250 Forvent is going to be able to secure another frag. Just baiting out SirQuest a little bit, but in these situations, exactly. Oh my lord, long range tap with the USP to their head. 2 penny falls in a very eco-heavy buy. Could spell doom and map series point for UNSW.
Very well could. All that's left standing in their way is Cool Hippie Man and his AK. Also the flash he's got on him and the 100 health. He does have the bomb to work with. He's able to somehow clear his way up to a site, but with his position given away, might make things a bit more difficult. So let's try to swap the AK to get the easy ammo in, but instead we'll be swapping to one with only 4 bullets, so has to reload anyways. This will be holding around the corner. We'll be able to find one. Has no idea. Gibbs has gotten the timing perfectly right, making his way onto the other side of that box. And now UNSW Raw at series point here. Swinburne needing 6 in a row to push OT. Not impossible by any stretch. They certainly have shown they're able to find a bit of that strength back. They found 4 rounds so far on their T side. They need to make it an even 10 to keep this going.
Gee, but that's such a bizarre thing. I mean, like, I remember, you know, watching back in the OG days, we had, like, Boostmeister and all that stuff, and then, now in 2021, cool, we'll just pull our utility in the middle of spawn. If anyone needs some grenades, just run back. We'll be fine.
Counter-Strike in 2021 really does hit different, indeed. UNSW Raw looking to hit very differently here with trying to take this round, and they'll be doing it at the very least by finding that opener on to Cool Hippie Man. Keza trying to go for the fake flash, does throw a real one. Gibbs finding one more. Viridian nailing Solar. Dexy, Keza have to do something here in this 2-on-5, but as SirQuest pushes up, he takes Keza down so low. Does he finish it? He does. I'll get traded at the very least. Make that another kill as well as Dexy comes swinging out. Now all by himself, 28 HP. Needs to complete the ace to make this work. He's got a bit of time left as he does make his way up, but WF will be waiting for him. That is going to be that. 16-9. Much closer scoreline coming out from Swinburne, who definitely was showing quite a fair bit of strength on that map. Definitely pulling things together quite a fair bit, but in the end, UNSW Raw just looking so dominant, so overwhelmingly strong. Really well fought game from both teams, of course, but UNSW will be advancing forth after taking that 2-0 result tonight.
Well, basically, look, UNSW Raw, they are a solid name in the competition. They keep proving time and time again why they are, despite being in the lower bracket, despite, you know, the odds being stacked against them potentially a little bit. They are going to keep that lower bracket run going. Unfortunately for Swinburne, they are done with the competition. Obviously, no second chances in the lower bracket. But I mean, look, to say the very least, to see them come back the way they did in that second map, it's got to bring a bit of confidence going into next season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Swinburne definitely have been looking quite strong going through, especially, you know, with how they've been playing in the groups, and they've certainly put up quite the fight. You know, I've had the pleasure of casting them a few games on the AEL channels and being able to, you know, watch them go through. But unfortunately, not going to be able to pull through tonight, once again falling to UNSW Raw like they did in Group C matchups. But still, congratulations to the UNSW Raw, who will be moving forward again. They will be versing AUE Black sometime next week. Not sure when the match will be, but hopefully sooner rather than later. Very keen to see how that one will go out. AOE Black beat Uni Melb off stream 2-1 tonight. So that is that. That's how things are going to be going forward. Very interesting, very incredible Counter-Strike that we've had the pleasure of watching tonight. And that pleasure, of course, has been brought to you by our sponsors who have been here to help make everything possible.
Yeah, again, massive shout outs to Chatime, keeping everyone refreshed, cool, and hydrated going into these matchups. AOC, our monitor partners, superior visual quality from their monitors, top tier gaming products, a global leader in the monitor display technology department. Indomie, keeping them fed. Look, I'm going to be perfectly honest. After this, I'm going to go make me a bowl. I'm keen. I'm hankering. I want something to eat. And then ROG, again, what it takes to win in the audio department. Superior gaming headsets.
Absolutely right. Thank you again, Chatime, AOC, Indomie, and RIG, helping make the AEL season possible, for helping to support all these players, for giving all these players a platform to, you know, really showcase their skills and, you know, put on a show in front of all of you who have been watching tonight. Of course, if you want to see some more AEL action, you can stay tuned to the AE Sports League on through social media, of course, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can find us at AU Esports League. Twitch, you can follow twitch.tv/AEL Uni. If you're watching on Twitch, that's where you're watching right now. But you can also find action on twitch.tv/AEL Uni 2. You want to see some more, because there are going to be some more exciting games coming up. As I said, there's going to be more playoff matches, including UNSW Raw playing against AUE Black next week. I'm very keen to see how these games go. I'm very excited to see how it all turns out in the end. You can also follow us as well on Twitter. You can find me at It's2SBS. Or you can find Panda, of course, at Bluepanda_casts, if you've enjoyed the commentary this evening. Panda, anything more to say? Any final thoughts?
No, I mean, look, it speaks for itself. UNSW with another solid performance. I mean, very much, I get the feeling that we're probably going to see them carry that run for a lot longer, even into that grand finals potentially. So it definitely is going to be one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, very keen to see how they go. Very keen to see how all these teams go, of course. Thank you so much for watching us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing these games to you. Have a good evening. Thank you all. Goodbye.